Pietro Pacciani. Was he the monster? Tuscany, Italy, 1951. A traveling farm worker named Pietro Pacciani discovers his fiancée with another man in the countryside near his village. What he does that night will send him to prison for 13 years and reveal a capacity for darkness that investigators would remember decades later. When he is released, he remarries. He has 2 daughters. Years later, he is convicted again, this time for terrible crimes against his own family. He serves another 11 years behind bars. When he walks free a second time, investigators begin to wonder if the Monster of Florence has been living quietly in a farmhouse in Mercatale Val di Pesa all along. Pietro Pacciani was born in 1925 in the Tuscan countryside. By the time Italian investigators turned their attention to him in the early 1990s, he was a heavy-set, outwardly ordinary farmer who grew vegetables, kept animals, and attended Sunday Mass. Neighbors described him as rough but unremarkable. The investigation that followed was one of the most controversial in Italian criminal history. Inside his farmhouse, investigators found paintings, dark, obsessive works that disturbed everyone who examined them. They found a single spent cartridge from a Winchester Series H bullet, the same rare and distinctive ammunition connected to every one of the monster's attacks. They found material they considered deeply incriminating. Pacciani was arrested in 1993. During his trial, he wept, prayed, and denied everything with theatrical emotion. He called himself a simple farmer, a man of God, a victim of persecution. The jury convicted him in 1994. He received a life sentence. Then the conviction was overturned on appeal. A retrial was ordered. And in February 1998, before it could begin, Pietro Pacciani was found lifeless in his farmhouse kitchen. The official cause was heart failure. The toxicology report noted an unusual concentration of cardiac medication in his system. No further investigation was ever ordered. 2 of his alleged accomplices, Mario Vanni, a former postman, and Giancarlo Lotti, were convicted as participants in the monster's crimes. Both pointed to Pacciani as the killer. Pacciani maintained his innocence until his final breath. The question that Italian investigators and researchers have debated ever since is not simply whether Pacciani was the monster. It is whether the monster was ever a single person at all, or whether the crimes were committed by a group organized around a darker purpose that Italian justice has never been able or willing to fully pursue. The cartridge was real. The paintings were real. The history of violence was real. But the monster's weapon was never recovered. The full truth was never established, and Pietro Pacciani died before he could speak in his own defense at retrial. In Mercatale Val di Pesa, his farmhouse still stands among the olive trees. The shutters are closed. The garden has grown wild. And in the Tuscan hills at night, the darkness is absolute.